Alrighty, hey folks, so today I'm going to teach you how to make a blanket using loop yarn. And if you don't know what loop yarn is, you can get it at Michael's or Joann's. The loops are to make it easier for you to be able to hand crochet things like scarves, beanies, blankets, whatever you want, versus using a tool like traditional crocheting. As a person who's never crocheted before in their life using tools, this was actually pretty easy, so please do not feel intimidated. I know that you can make a blanket and I know that you can make it better than mine, so if you have any questions, let me know. So what you'll need is 7 to 10 safety pins. You're going to need a pair of scissors and you're going to need the yarn. To start off the blanket, you're going to need to cut one of the loops and create a small tail. After that, you take the loop yarn and you wrap it around you to measure how big you want the blanket to be. I usually do it this way so that if I need to make it bigger or longer, then I would just buy more yarn, but at least I know that it wraps around me. After you find out your desired length, you're going to count how many loops it takes for it to wrap around you, and then for every 10th loop, you're going to mark it with a safety pin. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. For me personally, I use about 50 to 70 loops for the blanket to be able to wrap around me. Now you're going to lay your desired length flat. After that, you are going to put the rest of the yarn on top and kind of align it where it looks like teeth. You're going to start off the blanket horizontally. Grab the loop that's right next to the last safety pinned loop. Insert that loop into the safety pinned loop and then pull up. And then you are going to repeat that pattern over and over again for the rest of the loops. After I've started my first row horizontally, I like to turn the yarn vertically so that I could be able to crochet faster. The loop on the left is going to go into the loop on the right, and then you're just going to pull that loop all the way. This is just a preference of mine. You do not have to follow it this way. Now you don't want to go too fast because you could miss a loop. This is how it's supposed to look on the front side, and then you want to flip it on the back side to make sure that you did not miss any loops. This is what it looks like. It looks like everything's fine and great, and then bam, there's a missing loop. And it's entirely up to you if you want to leave it there or not and you're too far in the game, but what you can do is you can flip it over, unravel it, and then recrochet it. To finish up your second row, you're going to crochet it once to finish that row, and then you're going to crochet it again to create another row. Okay, now you're going to finish up your blanket and tie up loose ends. You're going to want to start on the side that does not have the tail. You're then going to grab the very first loop, and then you're going to grab the loop next to it. You're going to put the loop on the right into the loop on the left, and then pull that loop all the way. And then you're just going to repeat that pattern of the right loop into the left over and over again until you reach the end. Now that you've reached the end, you are going to grab your loop and then you're going to grab the tail. You're going to insert the tail inside the loop and you're going to tie it. After you tie it, you're going to want to pull it tight, and then you're going to want to weave in the tail into the blanket. So now that you've sealed up your blanket, you're going to want to get all the loose ends, which are the little tails, and you're going to want to weave them into the blanket. You can be as messy as you want, no one's going to know. But it's better off that you weave it into the back of the blanket so that the front looks perfectly fine and so that it's not noticeable. Depending on how long the tail is, I'll weave it in a couple times, I'll weave it in the back, I'll tie it maybe, and then eventually I will cut it if it's really long. If you feel you have mastered this and you don't need to watch this video anymore, then you do not have to. It's just going to be a fast-paced version of me finishing up the blanket. But thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you are successful when you make your blanket, which you will be.